Instruction, golf news, equipment, travel, interviews, course profiles, and more. Your weekly fix of all things golf is about to begin. It's the Flagstick Podcast with your hosts, Jeff Potter and Scott McLeod. All right, welcome everybody to the Flagstick Podcast. I'm Jeff Potter, he's Scott McLeod. That's kind of a mainstay, a normal thing. We say that every week. Of course, the Flagstick Podcast is sponsored this week by Srixon Golf, whether you're looking for a premium urethane option in the Z-Star Series or quality budget option in the soft feel or somewhere in between with the Q-Star Tour. Srixon Golf is bound to present an option that is perfect for your game. For more information, visit srixon.ca. Follow us across all those social media networks, people, Instagram, X, TikTok, and the Facebook. And please subscribe to us on Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. And don't forget the YouTube channel. Like us and smash that notification bell. Make sure you never miss a single episode.
Oh, God.
I know. It's getting bad. I've fallen into the trap of the radio voice podcast influencer guy. I'll snap out of it eventually. Sure. But right now, it's kind of cool to say.
I don't know about cool, but sure. Okay.
I'm going to say it.
Trendy.
It's trendy. It's trippy. It's trippy.
God.
Yeah. So we're going to talk this week about something that I'm sure that is completely off topic. Like this is like way off base.
Nobody's talking about him.
We're going to talk about Scottie Scheffler. and his absolute dominance in particularly this past week at the St. Jude Championship. We're going to kind of delve into that background a little bit and some of the statistics and things like that, which normally we don't like to get too statistical.
No, not
but
really.
In this case, it is kind of a statistical thing. So you kind of have to get into it a little bit. We're going to talk about the CPKC and, of course, Brooke Henderson defending in Edmonton this week. And is her game rounding up or not? Interestingly enough, apparently she does not wear her engagement ring when she golfs. Just letting everybody know that in case that was like a hot topic that you were wondering about.
It'd be creating drama this week. All of a sudden people are like, oh, she's engaged, but she's not wearing a ring. Did they break up?
And we'll just have some idle chit chat in the beginning here. So let's pitter patter. Let's get at her. No? Okay.
Oh man. Oh man.
I got a bad case of the cliches going on today. So who knows? There could be stuff spewing out of my mouth on this week's show that it could be gnarly. Rad.
All right. Let's get going on episode 183 of the Flagstick Podcast.
You can read it. Frontline presented by Metcalf Golf Club, a natural setting, a pleasant challenge. Season is not winding down, contrary to what some people might think. Season is still in full swing. Game packages for adults, juniors, and families are available online, and check out some of the special 50th anniversary events and specials on the Metcalf website, metcalfgolf.com. Stay in touch with Golf Savings. Okay.
Yes, and if you did not catch the 50th anniversary story on Metcalf Golf in our print issue, it's now online as well. Literally, and it just went out with today's newsletter. Literally Wednesday. Just went. So if you're a subscriber to Flagstick Digest, which I have no idea why you wouldn't be, it's free.
Then it's free, and it just came in your newsletter this morning. Literally,
you got
Wednesday. Okay, let's talk about Scott. You played some golf. I haven't played any golf since the last time we said that I played golf, which was when I was playing in the member guest at Camelot, back-to-back rounds at Camelot. It was awesome.
And that was it.
But hey,
Life
this
happens.
week I will be playing back-to-back rounds.
Ooh.
One at Camelot and one at Mississippi. So it'll be 3 rounds at Camelot this year.
That sounds like a inter-family match.
With an extra body. Who do you think the extra body is going to be joining us for the inter-family match?
Is Mr. Stanley in?
Mr. Stanley will be joining us for the round at Camelot.
He's pretty much family anyway. So.
But how do we figure out how to divvy up the teams? In the past, we had Sean and I would play against Shane and Brandon. That's kind of not I'm not thinking that's a
Oof.
good idea because first of all, I
Oof.
want to play. So Shane is obviously a
Shane's
collegiate
yeah.
golfer. So
Yep.
Brandon hits the ball a long way,
Yep.
and Brandon and Shane want to play the back tees at Camelot.
Okay.
Okay, I want to play the back tees at Camelot. I know, no, I do, Scott, I do. I want to challenge myself. I've played two
Sure.
rounds
Okay.
of golf in
Fine.
the white tees at Camelot. I love
Okay.
the golf course, but I can't play the white tees at
White
Camelot
tea is
is
too
just
far
too
forward.
short. Blues
Yep.
are probably ideal, but blacks are right there, and I kind of want to sniff them. So
Sure. Why not?
I know that brother Sean is not going to
Does
want to
not
play
want
the
to play the
back tees
back
at Camelot.
tees.
I don't think I could shame him into it, and I don't think
Nope.
I could pay him to do it. So I'm
Nope.
not sure how
Sorry,
this is
Sean.
going to go. Whether do we split up the boys and do a Sean, Shane, Brandon, Dad match? Sean's playing a lot of golf right now.
Are you
Just
playing
came
multiple
off of a
days?
fourth place finish at the Mississippi Senior Club Championship. Um, you
He's
know,
a senior.
or at Mississippi, I guess.
Okay.
I I
Uh,
I barely became a senior this year. I guess the Mississippi, the senior age is 50.
okay.
That
All right.
whatever floats your boat, but to me
A
that's
question
not senior. I'm
question
sorry.
question for you. Is this multiple day or can you just play can you play sixes? So in other words, everybody takes partners and gain
Oh,
points. So
Shane's
you
not playing at Mississippi on Saturday, so he's only
okay.
playing the Camelot.
Okay. Because I know when I had that recent match just a little while ago with a couple of collegiate players and a touring pro, the easiest way to do it with four players was we each took each other for 6 holes from a partner standpoint. So
Oh,
we basically play you get everyone else as a partner. So for
oh,
6 holes, 6 holes, 6 holes, and then that way
interesting.
you just get points based on that play,
Okay.
and then that way everybody gets involved and you get rewarded. Generally, if you play fairly well, you
All
can.
right. Well,
But
we'll
yeah,
see how that goes. I mean, the last time we played, the four of us, we played for the belts.
right. So I
We played a
figured,
scramble match at
yeah,
Smugglers, and
yeah,
Shane and Brandon won the belts. I'm
right,
okay to do that, but
yeah.
if I play the back tees at Camelot,
Well,
I
that's why I
mean,
say you're almost better to have a partner, and then you play better ball, and then you play against the other team or whatever. So
all
I
right.
don't know.
Anyway, we'll
We get
figure it out.
format.
We'll
So
figure it out.
I,
So,
I'm
but
I'm gonna get
but
yeah.
you played some golf.
Yeah, I played 17 holes at Smugglers. That's my
Okay.
second 17-hole round. There got rained out.
17 holes.
Got rained out on the 18th tee box. So I played two 17s and a 4 there. But yeah, I did unfortunately, that's just the way it's been. You know what it's like. And the weather has not been a
Yeah.
pretty thing this year. And unfortunately a storm system came in, but then I got out for another round on Sunday. Now I was rusty, obviously, on the first round. I hadn't touched my clubs. That was actually the first time I touched the clubs in all of August,
Okay.
because I didn't play when I was away or whatever. But by the time Sunday came around, it was all right. So got to play in at Garrison. I think that was my 10th full round. I'm not bragging or crying about that. So, I've still
Okay.
got more to play for sure. But the one thing, that happened within that is that we had a random pair up. I was playing with Alex Sims, who was a teammate with Shane at Wisconsin, but just graduated Wisconsin Parkside. And we had a stranger kind of paired up with us. And sorry, he wasn't really paired up. We got to the third hole. We saw him. We were just out as a 2. We saw him behind us on the first. He was behind us on the second, and we knew we were going to be waiting all day. So
Okay.
we're like, "Hey, why don't you join up with us?" I think he was a little hesitant at first. He's like, "No, no, that's fine. I don't want to get involved with your game or whatever the case may be." Turned out to be an awesome guy. Was he, a tour star? No. Getting back into the game, played a bunch the last couple years. electrician, but really into the game, and obviously a good athlete. And what it really kind of reminded me of is a lot of times people are afraid to play with strangers, and I don't, and I get it in some sense. It's an unknown quantity, and if you play with your regular group, you sort of know what you're going to get. And you want to play with friends. Obviously, you've got something in common, and not everybody's comfortable getting to know someone, because usually the first couple holes with this person is like, hey, what do you do? How much do you play? Are you a member here? That sort of thing.
Right.
But it was great. And I think, I think people should venture to kind of grow their golf circle, especially if they're a member at a golf course, to get to know other people. And this is always a continuing thing with golf pros as well. There's a lot of times when you get at a golf course, pros play with the same people all the time. Members don't love that. They all want to play kind of with the pros and squads or whatever. But I just encourage people not to be fearful, and kind of invite somebody to come along. And you never know, you could meet your best your new best golf buddy out of it.
Yeah, it's a tough one though.
You could end up with some duds.
You
for
could
sure.
end up with some duds. Like, I mean, can you imagine having to play 18 holes with Don Donatello?
Yeah, sure. I know what
couldn't do it. I'd walk off the golf
and
course.
I've been that. I think we've all been there. That we played with people that we just have to tolerate.
That's the thing. I think that's the thing when it comes to golf. Now, when you're talking about pros not playing with it, that is a completely different animal altogether.
Oh yeah,
that is completely unacceptable for a golf pro not to play with all its members. As far as us or the general public joining up with another twosome.
Yeah.
If you don't have to and you want to stay with your twosome you have, and that's fine, and you don't mind waiting on the tee, don't complain about the pace of play. If you're waiting behind a twosome that's not playing very fast and you're unwilling to join up with them after invites or even or kind of hanging back and waiting for them to tee off so you don't have to have that awkward conversation. Right. But you're not going to know what it's like to play with somebody else until you play with somebody else. So for that one round of golf, especially like you said, if you're a member at the golf course, you're not giving up your green fee to have a bad experience. You're going to go out and play the next day. You can leave after 9 holes if you don't like it. You can leave after any number of holes if you're really struggling with it.
Have you ever done that?
Once.
Admit it.
I have once left
old
after 9
9-holer.
holes, and I've done. I've made the excuse. Bowed out after 9 holes. Went and sat in the clubhouse for an hour, and then went back out with played the front 9 or joined up with another group later on that I knew somebody. Like I have done it because it was just unbearable. I guess the other thing, the flip side to that is as a golfer, don't be unbearable.
True.
Literally, honestly, don't be a dummy. Like you don't want that reputation, and don't create that reputation. It's as simple as that. When I play golf, especially when I join up with other people, I'm slightly different when I'm playing with people that I know, that know me. I might take it a little more seriously at some points. I might make a comment or two. I might drop a bomb. And we're not talking about a long putt.
F-bomb.
And maybe. But if I'm playing with people I don't know, I really am a fun guy to play golf with, because I'm always encouraging. I'm not taking my own game too seriously. I'm matching what I'm playing with as far as the attitude and stuff.
Yeah, and so I think that's a good way to think about it as far as matching the vibe. For sure.
If you don't want people to not want to play golf with you, then don't chuck your clubs and swear at every bad shot and talk under your breath and about how bad you're hitting it or things like that. Like, it's just, nobody wants to hear that crap. Really, they don't. No. Nobody wants to hear it.
I just think it's good. It's always good to grow your circle of golf friends, because the other side of it
helps you if you do.
Well, yeah, because the other side of it is that you could be the one that day where all of a sudden you book in with your group and everybody bails. And what I find, comforting at Garrison, where I play a lot of golf courses, golf as a member, is that, I've worked there over the years, and then I, got to know everyone pretty much, and I can jump into any group, and it doesn't feel uncomfortable, and I'm not hesitant. And as a result of it, it makes it easier for future rounds when all of a sudden sudden your buddies can't play, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go play with, Marge or Bill or, whatever. So
Now, I think part of that too, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but it is a
no,
good
it's okay.
topic.
Yeah.
A lot of times too, I know for me, um, if you're a decent golfer, like I would
Right.
consider myself a decent golfer. I'm not
Yeah,
an
for sure.
elite level player, but I'm a decent
No, you're way
golfer.
above average. So it's
So I'm not concerned about who I play with. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? I don't
right.
I don't concern
Yes.
myself if I'm playing with really crappy golfers, I'm not
Hmm.
concerned about my game. If I'm playing
Hmm.
with really good golfers,
Yep.
I'm not concerned about me. I might hit it really good, I might hit it terrible, but I'm
Yeah.
okay. If you're a really crappy golfer, like a
Yeah.
beginner, or you're just not very
Yeah.
good, then
Yeah.
that is a different level of
I know that could be
nervousness.
that could be a
Yeah.
hesitation for
And
them
if
for
you're a
sure.
really, really good
Well
player,
recognized.
you're not worried
Yep.
at all. You'll join up with
No.
anybody because everybody you play with will be impressed with you. So
Yeah.
that plays a factor in it too. Because I
Yeah.
know if you're a 90s or
That's
a
a valid
100
that's
or
a valid that's a
110,
valid point for sure. Yeah.
you're like
Yeah.
looking at some guy going, "Oh crap, is this guy really good? I don't want to embarrass myself." And then you get out there and you're
Yeah.
topping everything, and you just
Yeah.
have no fun.
Yeah, I
Um,
could I could see that for sure. And like I said, that's a good point. I could see sometimes that, people maybe they'll come up on your group. And this was the case on the Sunday. I could see the guy watching us play a couple of holes
yeah,
and you know, he
little
was like I
nervous.
said, yeah, he probably was. And after a couple of shots or whatever, it was kind of like, oh well, obviously you guys have played before. So
Yeah,
so I can understand that for sure. But what I would say though is that even if that's the case, I mean, golfers generally are pretty good about, playing with other people. And I think the other side of it is people don't recognize that, how I won't say bad or good. I would say what the level of the average other golfer is. What they'll find sometimes is when they think everybody's an expert. They'll find out that, I mean, that was the hesitation of my daughter for a lot of times.
yeah,
She always had this perception in her mind that everybody was a really, really good golfer.
and that's
And
not the
she,
case.
yeah, and she was hesitant to kind of play with other people. And
Hmm.
like you said, you become nervous about playing with other people because you're worried about, being judged and slowing them down and things like that. But you realize pretty quickly is that, oh, I'm actually not that bad. And I'm not, as long as you're following proper, etiquette, courtesies and stuff like that, then yeah,
100%.
it's certainly fine. So, but interesting topic as far as that. I'd love
Yeah,
to hear from people what they think about playing with strangers and whether they
yeah.
like it, they don't like it, and what it is they like or don't like about it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'll tell you something. I
Yes.
haven't talked too much about this on the podcast, and I'm still not going to talk a lot about it. Uh, my son Brandon's heading off to Guelph this fall, turf grass management program. Very aspiring golf course architect, we'll call him. That's what he really
Yep.
wants to get
Has
into.
has been for a long time. Yep.
Yes. So my wife and I kind of let him have this little section of our property, little par three-ish pitch and putt kind of, or pitch and chip kind of area that I cut down when we bought the house here.
Yep.
Didn't really do much with it.
How long how long is it? I forget the
It's
yardage.
probably about 30 yards,
Yeah.
maybe-ish, 25, 30
Cool.
yards.
Yeah.
But I cut a tee back in the day. I cut a green,
Hmm.
put a pin in it. We built a bunker a couple years ago, just, for fun, that and giggles.
Yep.
Um,
You can say
and
it.
then, yeah, and then Brandon decided that he wanted to design something
Better.
better, and he went at it. And my wife and I just kind of said, "Hey, well, it's just grass and
Sure.
dirt."
Yeah, but
At the end of the day, we want to.
it's great for a
Yeah.
live project, and it's not like
Yeah.
it's a
So he's
detriment
been
to the
going at
house.
it all summer long. Part of last year, been going at it. Finished up his work at Camelot for the year. Took a few weeks off before heading to Guelph, and
Yep.
he part of that reason for that is he wanted to finish this before he left. And
Are you getting used to having to say the word Guelph 1,000 times
yeah, it's
over the
fine.
next yeah, a bunch of whiles? Like probably, they
It's
don't mention it that
it's
much,
yeah,
and all of a sudden
it's
it's like, man, the word it's like me in London, right? So yeah,
exactly. It comes out quite a bit.
yeah,
So he powered through, got all the shaping of his bunkers, and everything's was all done. It was dirt. So then
right,
yesterday, we went and got sod, and
yep.
I got to tell you, and he laid all the sod back there, and the sod looks great. The whole thing looks amazing. Next step is landscape fabric and sand, And
as someone who worked on golf courses before, sod was my nightmare.
Oh, and we're not talking
either
about
cutting it or laying it down.
Oh yeah, we're not talking about laying a flat tee deck here either. I mean,
No.
eventually you will see pictures of this and video of this, and it is a
Sure.
spectacular job that he did back there.
Cool.
But all that to say,
How much sod?
and mosquitoes. So there's 50 rolls of sod that we went and bought. And I'm thinking, like, okay,
My backstory thinking about
maybe
that.
seed. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and like
No.
So
seed takes a long time.
we went to Peterson's Turf Farm, and I'm not one for shameless plugs on the show or anything like that. We went to Peterson's Turf Farm, and unbelievable. It was like $5 a roll for 2 foot by 5 foot lengths of sod, bluegrass, and this stuff was so lush and so beautiful.
Yeah, I love driving by those sod farms.
We ordered it the day before. Showed up the next morning after 8 o'clock. The skid of sod is sitting right there. I showed up with the trailer. We had to do 2 loads because it's kind of heavy with the Jeep and stuff. But we only live 15 minutes away from Peterson, so it's not that big a deal. But the guy helped us load it in the trailer, and the sod was all rolled nice, and everything was still damp, and we brought it home, unloaded it, went and got more, and this sod was so good. And
Sweet.
Picking it up on your own, $5 a roll. Like,
nice.
I was so impressed with the service there, so impressed with the pricing. So
I know when you told me, I know when you texted me and said, "Oh, we got to pick up 50 rolls of sod," and all I could think in my mind was, "Oh boy, that's going to cost a load."
Yeah,
but,
it was not. It was like so.
That's
so
cool.
happy.
That's a great project.
Can't wait to share what he has done over there.
Are you
with
shooting
everybody?
Some video, shooting some golfing around in the front yard?
Maybe he has a friend that does drone videos, so I think he's going to do like a drone video of it when it's all done. But we got to get the sand in it. We've only got 2 weeks before he leaves, so we're kind of like, this was the big thing, getting all that sod down in shape. Now the sand will go in pretty easily.
Should shoot some time lapse while he's.
Yeah, I know he's got a ton of video and a ton of photos, so I'm sure he'll put something together eventually.
I mean,
time
what a fun way to do a live project, right?
I know, and I mean, how many people will get the opportunity to have a piece of property where you can do that? Anyway, that's all good. Before we move on, I did have a chance to go up. Obviously, I've been delivering magazines, the last couple of magazines up to Timber Run in Lanark.
Oh yeah,
I had an opportunity to go up there. I met with Corey, the superintendent and GM up there. And
they're doing some nice stuff.
they're going to be doing a little bit of marketing in the fall issue with us, and then into next year. But I went up and we were chatting. Like, they've got some neat projects that they've got planned up there. He's got a lot of great ideas. And going up there next week. I think I'm going to play some golf and take a look at a bit of their property that they're looking at possibly doing some expansion work on, and pretty exciting.
Great clubhouse.
I just absolutely love
one of my favorite
clubhouses. I took a video of the staircase there. I haven't posted it yet, but I will. But it's just like that circular staircase. It's all made of.
So this is a log clubhouse, and people, if this has been used as a movie set before. So it's spectacular, and I know I've seen some video work where they've done some extra furniture and stuff out front and so forth, and fun little golf course, and a great setting. So
that's I'm looking forward to going up there and playing it next week. So anyway, okay, Scottie Mac, we got a little bit of time here. Do you want to get into the Scheffler stuff, or do you want to bang out the CPKC stuff?
Why don't we CPKC? It'll take a little bit less time. So
now, as everybody knows, unless you're all golfers, if you're living under a rock, you know that the CPKC Women's Open is happening out in Edmonton this week, and of course, Brooke Henderson is the defending champion. Won last year at Mississauga Country Club. This year, obviously, I just said at Royal Mayfair Golf Club, old 1922 course, historic Mayfair Golf Club.
And it's hosted the CPKC several times. Actually, Lydia Ko won there, and then I looked back. Lorena Ochoa won there in 2000. And I'm trying to think what the year was. 2007, and that was a year she won 8 times. And I think she won 4.6 million that year. The next player was like 1.7 million. She like dominated, but that was where she played it. Now, before we get into too much as far as some of the details and things, I saw some of the press conferences and stuff yesterday. By the time this comes out, there'll be a little bit of a preview story up on flagstick.com, but the players are talking about the bugs. The bugs are bad.
Gosh.
The bugs are bad.
Insane. It's bad everywhere though. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just been a wet. The problem is it's been so wet. It was a wet spring there. So two things are sort of coming into play that, will affect the tournament is like the bugs are obviously going to bug the players, and the rough is pretty deep. It's pretty thick, and that's what the players are talking about. But yeah, Lydia Ko won here. That was her second time that she'd won the CPKC. She won it as a 15-year-old, but she won it as a 16-year-old as well at Royal Mayfair. It's nice for the Alberta golf fans. They actually have 2 tournaments going on this week in Alberta.
Right, because the
Rogers Charity Classic,
yeah,
the Champions event is on in Calgary, and then the LPGA event is on in Edmonton. So they're the
flip-flop.
I know they're the kind of the center of the golf world right now. But yeah, it's a big, and obviously anytime, as you mentioned, that Brooke, gets back home, a lot of excitement for that. And, there's 15 Canadians in the field, which obviously adds a lot of eyeballs to it. And it's a good showcase for people to see, how well these players have been playing around the world. So,
yeah, I mean, obviously that, we know that the majority of people are clamoring to the golf course to watch Brooke. It doesn't take anything away from the other Canadian girls and Canadian women that are playing. They're amazing golfers, and some of them could end up being standouts on the LPGA tour at some point or another. But Brooke is the one that the eyeballs are on.
She's the show.
She's the show. And the other top LPGA tour players, like Nelly Korda, whose game is really starting to round out a little bit too, right? So
yeah, but before we even get to them, Anna Huang, who she's the other Canadian that right now, I think she's 53rd in the world right now. She's won 4 times on the ladies European tour. And she just won a couple weeks ago in London. And here's the funny one. She's only 17. And yesterday, I think some of the media got a little bit of a, a shocking moment to realize how young she was, because somebody said, oh, you obviously went over and turned pro at 16. You're playing LET. What did you do about schooling? And she's like, well, I do schooling online, and I'm going into my senior year into a couple of weeks. And I think a couple people were thinking senior year of college. No, she's going to her senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And it's a 4-time LET
crazy, eh?
winner. So, and she's like, oh, we'll see what happens after that. So, but yeah, that sort of kind of hammers it home of how young she is.
Yeah.
And, within those Canadians, obviously, players like, Clary Lynn and Aphrodite Dang, who, the back-to-back winners of the U.S. junior girls. We've got a great contingent there. Lauren Kim, Vanessa Borovelis, a lot of great players. But as you said, there's no shortage of big LPGA stars that are in the field as well.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, that's, headlined obviously by Nelly Korda's world #1, but that's only a small portion of how of the top players. I mean, we could run out the list, but I mean, let's be honest with you. I mean, we'd be reading a shopping list of good players. Now, the Rink hole this week, as is kind of the mainstay for all Canadian, championships, professional championships, is the Rink hole. It's playing the longest.
That's odd.
Yeah, which is 170 plus yards. Yeah, which I heard it's the longest that it's ever played in any professional championship, RBC included. So, interestingly, that be the LPGA Tour, not that they can't handle a 170-yard hole, but just it's kind of a drama hole, and 170 yards is not necessarily a drama yardage.
No.
You kind of want those in that sort of 130 to 150 range, where you're bringing in wedges, 9s and 8s, not.
Yeah, and I think maybe I mean, one, I guess you get a little bit more seating out of it, but the other side of it is that, if you looked at what they did at TPC Osprey Valley for the RBC Canadian Open, it was super short this year. And as a result of it, having a wedge in the hands, you get a lot more balls that are close to the hole and, chances to go in. And
well, how long is the hole at Phoenix?
It can play anywhere too, isn't it? Yeah, it can play anywhere from 130 to 170, so it's kind of in that range. But you have to understand that 170, even on the LPGA, some players are playing hybrids into that.
Yeah. So you're not expecting a tight.
No. So, I mean, I know some fans probably don't care as long as the golf ball goes in the air, they'll probably clap and cheer. But I would think you'd want the golf balls to be as close as possible.
Might be missing the boat a little bit there if they haven't thought of maybe they're going to shorten it up at times. I know it was mentioned that it was playing 170, but maybe it's. I noticed also that they had the mesh down on the tee deck. At the front part of the tee deck, so maybe their plan is maybe it's playing 170 for practice rounds, and maybe they'll gradually move it more forward because it'll get chewed up. Maybe it's a small deck. I don't know the course that well.
True. I did notice the yardage is fairly short this week compared to what they've been doing for a lot of LPGA events. I think the total white line yardage was like 64.53, which they've been doing more. You're seeing more and more of them head towards 66, 67. Maybe that's due to the golf course being a little bit softer. They've decided to kind of have it shorten up. I'm not sure what the max length the Royal Mayfair can play. Maybe that's all they've got.
They're hitting it longer. The women hit the ball a lot longer than they used to. So I mean,
but I think there's more disparity within the LPGA than there is in
top to bottom. Yes, you're
right. Yeah. But you're right. There's girls that are just hammering it now.
Bombing. So, I mean, Brooke's one of them, but Brooke's not even the longest. I mean, there's some of them hit it like +3. I mean, depending on the conditions, but
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fun to watch for sure.
Yeah. So charitably. The CPKC's is aiming to raise about 3.9, almost 4 million for the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation.
Awesome.
Alongside some match donations supporting some local cardiac care initiatives in Edmonton. So this is, a big part of professional golf is the charitable side of it. A big part of golf is the charitable side of it, and this is where those dollars are earmarked to go for this year's CPKC. So good for them doing that. It should be a good week. I'm excited to watch some of it. I don't know that I'll watch 4 rounds. I generally, don't.
I'll get
cozy up to the TV for 4 straight rounds, but I'll watch a bit here and there, and we'll see what Sunday brings, what I got going on Sunday, if I'm in front of the TV or not. If it's a nice weekend, I could be out in the gazebo, and that could be a golf watching day. I definitely be watching some golf because obviously the BMW is on too, so
you could be laying some sod.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Sod's laid.
Okay, sorry.
Putting sand in bunkers, maybe we'll see, but I don't know. Anyway. All right, well, we're going to get out of here. When we come back, we're going to dig into this Scottie Scheffler guy. Apparently, he's pretty good and probably worth a little conversation.
Definitely.
So. All right, well, you're listening to and watching the Flagstick Podcast with Jeff Botter and Scott McLeod. Stay with us. We will be right back.
The wind is gusting so hard right now.
Moment is at hand for JJ Spawn.
Let's go, JJ!
This is perfect pitching back into the breeze.
Go get it, Keegan.
It's good when everything depends on it.
A winner again.
It's good when it's the Star.
All right, welcome back to the Flagstick Podcast, or as we like to call it right now, the Temu Podcast. We just spent the last the last 5 minutes talking about my rabbit hole of Temu purchases that I've made recently. I need an intervention. It's clear. I need to stop. I have fallen down the rabbit hole and I cannot find my way back out. So I need help. Anyway,
Can we order a Temu Scottie Scheffler? What? Who is the team who's Scottie Scheffler?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I don't know
All right,
the
well,
answer.
let's get into it. Let's get into our back nine because we want to get to this.
Sure.
Let's get into our back nine. Our back nine is presented by Falcon Ridge Golf Club with 27 holes of fun and challenging golf at great rates. Falcon Ridge Golf Club is a golfing experience that you do not want to miss. And as we keep reminding you, Falcon Ridge has built the first TrackMan range facility in Eastern Ontario. TrackMan range is all about exciting, easy-to-use features that provide the ultimate range experience for every golfer at every level. That's practice, games, and virtual golf. To book tee times or one of the 10 TrackMan range bays, visit falconridgegolf.ca. Okay, so there's this guy that plays on the PGA Tour. And he seems to have won some events from time to time. And he just, when he wins, it kind of looks like nobody else is playing. Does that remind you of anybody else?
I wonder.
In any era of golf?
Not that I expected. That's for sure.
No. I guess that's the thing, right? Like, we saw.
There's no expectation.
What Tiger did when Tiger came out and Tiger was dominant. There was all this hype about Tiger. There was almost an expectation that he was going to be as good as he ended up being.
Yes.
And he was going to challenge Nicklaus's records and so on and so forth, which he did.
Yeah.
Until it was done. I think we can all agree that Tiger Woods is not breaking Jack Nicklaus's record of 18 majors ever, and may not ever win another PGA Tour event. Correct. And if that is fine.
Yes.
But we did not see this coming with good golfer. We could look back. We could go back in his history, but we saw this. Was it Rory? Was it Jordan Spieth? What about Koepka? Like all of these challengers that kind of popped up. It's like, okay, is this the guy the next Tiger Woods? There's not going to be a next Tiger Woods.
There's not.
Likely not in my lifetime.
Maybe
in someone else's lifetime, but not in mine.
No, and we have to temper ourselves here or whatever. Scottie Scheffler is obviously dominating things right now.
But he's not there yet either.
But he's not there yet either. And I mean, when we look at some of the stats and stuff and see how rapidly, Tiger got there, it's way different trajectory than Scottie Scheffler. But the way he's doing it right now is Tiger-like, as you say, as far as those wins. I mean, his win last week in 8 strokes at St. Jude. I turned it on and I'm like, do I really want to watch this? I mean, it's not even going to be close. I mean, some people want to watch it because they want to see how far he can push it. And that was part of the appeal for Tiger as well. But it certainly lends a different feel to something like the FedEx playoffs right now, where he's a lock. Nobody can catch him as far as the through this week or this next event at Bellerive. So he's obviously locked in as far as the money that's there. But the way he's doing it and how fast he's done it, especially in the last 5 years, because you got to remember, while this guy was, he had a lot of glimpses of being a top player early on. He didn't really break that door down until 5 years ago. And then it wasn't like he was like stepping out and winning his first start on the, on the PGA Tour. But certainly what he's done in the last 5 years has been like, what more can you say but be impressed? That's for sure.
Well, it is. And here's the funny thing. Okay. So referring specifically to the St. Jude, I watched, and I will watch the playoffs week after week. I mean, this is the intrigue of what they've created. Albeit I completely disagree with it. Did not like the format at all. It is not a playoff.
It's going to go away anyway. So we
what they bring is week. What they bring back going to be better. No, we won't know that because they haven't fully announced what they're going to bring back. But watching the St. Jude, he had a 2-shot lead going into Sunday, and he was playing with Sam Burns, which was good. As far as comfort level and things like that.
Yeah, they're buddies, they're best friends. So,
but he had a 2-shot lead. So at this point, we're talking about the dominance. He won by 8. We're talking about the dominance in the tournament, but he started the day with a 2-shot lead. Now, he shot 66, 65.
I believe
66.
so, something like that. Yeah.
So he shot 66, and I think it's a par 70. Par 70, is it not?
I believe so.
So he shot a good round.
Yeah.
But nobody else did either. Like
No, and
Burns was bad. Im was bad.
yeah, and
Nobody
Burns had
really,
shot 64 the day before to
yeah.
get
So
within two. So yeah.
nobody backed up what they did on Saturday to play a good enough round to force pressure at all on Scheffler. He started with the 2-shot lead, and and then he bogeyed, I think, number 3.
Yeah.
So, but he never fell back, and then I feel like as a golfer, when you're in that sort of situation and you've been in it enough times as Scheffler has, you're as soon as that kind of thing happens and you look at the leaderboard and realize I just made bogey and I got a 3-shot lead, then you start, the comfort level starts to get really nice, and then he just kind of just keeps trucking along. He didn't 4 under 66 is a great score, but it's not 61, it's not 60, it's not 62. It's a good score, but nobody hunted him down. Nobody chased him. And he just got more and more comfortable as the round went on and expanded the lead. Even he expanded the lead, but nobody else expanded their,
Yeah. And in that way, that sort of reminds me of, Nicklaus. It's like, Nicklaus is always about, he called it winning by attrition. Basically, you just do your thing and most of the people will fall away. And the more that you have this formula, and then we should say that, the FedEx St. Jude was his 21st PGA Tour win. The more that you do this, the more that you get comfortable with the formula, the more that it's like, as much as he wants to win, he's definitely not nervous about it. No. Whereas other players are probably putting a lot more emphasis on, I want to win, I want to win, I want to win. Scottie's like, I'll just do what I do. And in most cases, and I will win. And I believe that. And if I don't win, then I'll go play next week. And, there's got to be something that's said for that. And he sort of built that shield around himself, in this last little while. He's built this formula that he knows can get it done. And as a result of it, you watch him and it's like, the difference, obviously, when we talk about Scottie and Tiger's, was a little bit more dramatic, more fist bumps, more, trying to spectacular shots where Scottie's just beating you to death with body shots, and he just does it over and over.
That's a great analogy. That's a great analogy. Scott McLeod.
It's not a knockout punch, right? It's just body shot.
He's not Mike Tyson.
No, he's not.
He's what's his name there? Floyd Mayweather.
Sure, just body shot. Yeah. And that's the big thing for him is that, he's built this formula to do it. And like I said, since, he went out and he didn't win on the PGA Tour until 2022. He's PGA Tour Rookie of the Year in 2020, and he obviously showed glimpses. He shot 59 that year at the Northern Trust. He had dominated the Korn Ferry Tour, but he didn't win. Now, granted, obviously, we know this is the COVID period of time or whatever like that, so lots of different things were going on. But 22, he wins at Phoenix, and you're thinking, oh, okay, finally, he's living up to his reputation of what he did on the Korn Ferry Tour, and what he did as a college player at University of Texas and being a dominating kind of junior player. But you're thinking, okay, is he going to be another, pick a player, and not to knock on those players that are winning, one time currently, but your Jackson Koiven or no, your Michael Brennan, who's won twice now or whatever. But it's like, the glimpses weren't there yet, or as far as that domination, or it didn't seem to be. But then all of a sudden it's like, oh, every time you turn around, his name is rolling off your lips when he's the lock pick. I mean, it doesn't matter who you look at from a media standpoint. When people do picks for the week, if he's in the field, you pick him. It's like being at the racetrack and knowing that a $2 bet's only going to give you $2.10 because the odds are terrible. But you can lock it in, and your odds of it happening are pretty damn good. And we know that right now he's on a streak where he's been number one in the world for 170 weeks. But to put that in relationship, Tiger's had 2 streaks, that one that lasted 281 weeks, another one that lasted 264. But what we're saying, though, is that he's sort of in between. We haven't seen anybody show a glimpse of sustained success like Tiger over a 5-year period as much as we have seen in Scottie and what he's done.
Yeah, no, and there's no question. There's just something about there's a calmness about the way he plays, and his game is completely different. He hits a lot of greens.
Yeah, a lot.
When his proximity to the hole is on his norm or his standard, his putting is lights out. And that's kind of like, I think I was watching the telecast after the first round, and one of the announcers, I don't know which one it was, said, if he gets his putter going, he will win this going away. And he didn't have the putter going right early on, and then the next day the putter showed up, and then the putter never left. It just he lit up, and once because he hits it. When he hits it greens, he hits it close enough to the hole that every putt is a reasonable birdie opportunity. For a PGA Tour player, 20 feet is not like, for me, a 20-foot putt, I'm looking at 2-putt par. I'm trying to make birdie if I can, but I'm looking at 2-putt par. 20 feet for a PGA Tour player, that is a reasonable birdie opportunity for them. It's
still low percentage, but
but for average, for better putters on the PGA Tour, that's a higher percentage the better the putter that you are.
For sure.
So, 15, 20 feet, that's not a gimme, but it's
but it's a huge opportunity. You're right, and he's not. He's not in a situation. Well, the other side of it too, he's not in a situation that, when he does miss greens, again, he doesn't sweat it. You don't see him panicking. Short game. Yeah, you don't see him panicking because, he hit it to 7 feet. He just sort of accepts it, and it's either make or miss, and away you go. And I think that's the attitude that a lot more players have to take. But like you say, his strokes gained, and especially for the approaches, look, he might not be the best driver in the world, but because he's not the best driver in the world, his swing is really built to hit irons. And, what are you hitting mostly when you're out there is irons. So he just needs to get a driver in play. And like you said, if he hits it close enough, the closer he hits it, the more putts are going to go in. That's the reality of it. I mean, it doesn't matter. And the fact is now that, like I said, he's got, he's 30 now. He's got 4 majors. He's got 21 wins relative to, the players that we've talked about. I mean, Nicklaus and Tiger, they're in different realms. I mean, Tiger had 46 by age 30 and Nicklaus had 40 by age 30, but he's obviously surpassed the McIlroys, the Koepka, the Spieths. Rory by 30 had 15 wins. Koepka had 7 wins. I mean, they both had 4 majors at that point. He's got this run that's going, and it doesn't seem to be, although it's a burst in 5 years, it doesn't seem to be rise and fall. And that's what we see with a lot of players. We see, a lot of players that do well one week, but then, Rory obviously said, he was off for a little bit, but he said he played like crap at FedEx, but we never really see Scottie play like crap. His idea of playing like crap is to finish top 20.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say top 10, but top 20 is probably more realistic. But you're right. It's like when Scottie Scheffler is not playing well, you're still concerned about where he is on the leaderboard because he's close enough that he could shoot 61 or 60.
Oh, and you know that the other players have to be thinking that as well. I mean, imagine being there and starting, put yourself in the situation and say, hey, I'm into a tournament and I played really well and I've got a 2-stroke lead coming into Sunday, but my 2-stroke lead is over Scottie Scheffler. I mean, that's got to make you think a little bit more than just, I'll just go out and play my game. It's like, Scottie's behind me and, he's got a formula and, but what's his formula? And how can I do that?
It's a secret formula. It's like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
11 herbs and spices.
11 herbs and spices.
Scottie Scheffler's got the Kentucky Fried Chicken formula to winning golf tournaments.
Yeah, that's
pretty
exactly
greasy.
It. So, I mean, but at 30, I guess the big thing is here, we look at, the parallels with other athletes and stuff. And that's always easy to do comparisons because they're stats and they're easy to look at. Yeah. But, when we look at it individually of what he does, that's where I kind of look at it. I don't want to look at it always in compared to what other people do. I look at it and, okay, like here's what he does, and what is his ceiling? What do we think? And again, it's hard to be predictive. We can't sit back here and say, hey, he's going to win 10 majors and 70 events or whatever, because there's a lot of factors that are in that, right? Family, how long you're going to play, injuries, all that sorts of things. But he even in his worst stuff, he's just there.
Yeah. The thing is, it's interesting. This is a really good chart to look at if you're looking at, because there's a lot of discussion with respect to Scheffler. There's always, whenever this happens,
right?
The immediate response is this guy the next Tiger Woods? Is this guy going to break Tiger's records?
No, he's the next Scottie Scheffler.
This is the perfect chart to look at, because these are the guys, right? Nicklaus, Woods, McIlroy, Koepka, Mickelson. Even if you, I don't know where he would fit on this chart. He has a lot of PGA Tour wins, but since he's a bit of a goof now, we don't really focus on him. But you look at this chart, and you got Nicklaus and Woods and Scheffler. That's the top three in this wins by 30. Age 30. Now it changes obviously as you go beyond that, but interesting to see that Koepka had 7 wins by the time he was 30, and 4 of them were majors.
Yeah,
I mean that's a telling story about Koepka. Is Koepka's different? He, was different. I mean, he's trying to get back there, but
again, we talk about injury and time,
and he had injuries,
other circumstances,
right?
And exactly.
So you look at this, and it's like, okay, well, Scheffler is the one we're talking about, but when you compare Scheffler's statistics by the age of 30 to Nicklaus and Woods, they're not even close.
No,
like it's double.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing. I mean, realistically, if you look at his body of work right now and compare it to other players that are in the Hall of Fame, he's already there. I mean, that's a given. And as we say, he's not, the pace that Nicklaus and Woods, that was a different planet. It really was a different planet. So, if we call them the, as they do it when scales, they're S tier, he's A tier, and it's hard to imagine putting, a Rory or a Koepka or a Spieth, kind of below that in tier, but Scottie's in a tier by himself right now.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Yeah,
no question. I mean, even beyond Rory right now.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you don't know what you're going to get with Rory. I love Rory. I love to watch Rory play, and he has that level of excitement and spectacular shots that he will hit that are Tiger-like. But he also has the other side of it as well. It's like there's a difference. His floor and his ceiling are way farther apart than Scottie's. Where Scottie's floor and his ceiling are a lot closer to each other. And when you shows up week to week, his floor is higher than most other players' ceilings.
Based on this, on what just happened this week, is he player of the year?
Oh, I think he's got to be. I mean, what's your perception of that? I mean, if you look at it right now,
well, the other two guys,
it didn't look that way, but going into this, I think he gets that win, and that's a different story.
Going into this week, the two that were most looked at were obviously Cameron Young, and Wyndham Clark. Cameron Young obviously having the Players Championship, and Wyndham Clark, winning a major. Scottie Scheffler doesn't have a major on this list this year.
Yeah, I guess that would be the separator more than anything.
But for someone like, I know Rory was saying that he puts a lot of weight in the quality of the tournament that you win. And I guess I'm on a different scale, I'm different position when it comes to this. Is I don't necessarily hold the majors at the highest standard that a lot of other people
dominance.
Do. I like dominance. I like consistency week after week. So back, if you looked at top 10s and so on, Scottie would still be the most consistent on the tour. Statistically, he's the best player on the PGA Tour statistically. And now he has won a playoff event, which is basically winning an event with the top players from the PGA Tour.
In this case.
The top 70 players. Like that is even a stronger field when you think about it than some majors.
Yeah, I guess when he only had the Amex win from January on there, you certainly wouldn't put it up there. But you're right. I mean, with the discussion now of the fact that he has won in the playoffs, and you got to think what he's going to do here at Bellerive and Eastlake. Maybe he cements that. But if you've got 11, top 10s and you got 5 runner-up finishes as well, you're doing some things that are dominated. So I mean, that's going to be up to the players to kind of vote on that and see which ones kind of put those majors or stuff higher. I think the other side of it is you have to look at, Cam Young, for an example. Yeah, you shine bright, but then you kind of fizzle for a bit. And it's really hard to sustain success. I mean, we've talked about it before.
That's what makes him the player of the year.
Correct.
To me. In my opinion, that's what makes him the player of the year, because Cameron Young won the Players. Cameron Young has had probably, arguably, maybe his best season on the PGA Tour, or one of his best seasons on the PGA Tour.
For sure.
Cameron Young has not been consistent since the beginning of the year. Even though Scheffler only has 2 wins, one of them is Amex is a signature, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, so he's got 1 win at the beginning of the year, and now a playoff victory, and a whole bunch of close calls in the middle. And has statistically the best stats of anybody on the tour, and is the most consistent golfer on the tour. I think the thing that always got to account for more.
Well, I think what really impresses me is that and again, we've talked about it on the podcast before, is that most times when players have success, it's a 6 to 7 week run during the year. And that's about it. That's where they make all their money. And we've seen that for a decade or so. The fact that he can do it all the time, like, I mean, pick a sport, like where, it's really hard to find somebody that has those consistent highs all the way through. And, I'm more excited to see where he potentially could take all this. I would like to see him back in contention for more of the majors. And, that is definitely going to be a sore point for him. That, can he get back to that, I mean, you got to remember, he won 6 times last year. He won 7 times in that 23 to 24 season period. So, I mean, that's a lot of wins there in a fast period of time. Is 2 going to be his norm every year, or is it going to be 4? Is it going to be 2 in a major? Is it, I'd like to think that, depending how many events he plays, he's got a shot to win 3 to 4 every year.
I think he's got a shot to do that, but I mean, realistically, you just look at the talent that the PGA Tour possesses now. I mean, there's some really good golfers out there. There's some really good golfers coming up. To think that you can consistently win 3 or 4 tournaments a year, that's tough. Fair enough. I mean, when Tiger was doing what Tiger was doing, I'm not taking anything away from what Tiger was able to do or what Jack was able to do in there. But when they came in, they dominated because they were just better than everybody else. There weren't the young and up and coming guys that were not the way it is now. The way it is now, it's deeper and deeper every year for sure. And the NCAA. D1 golf is like a mini PGA Tour nowadays. It's like these players are so good that they come out on the PGA Tour and there's no learning curve anymore. They're ready to play. They're ready to play high level pressure golf right away, and that's what you see with players like Koiven and Brennan and even when Hovland came out and Matthew Wolff came out and DeChambeau came out, it's these guys were ready to play PGA Tour golf right away. When Tiger came out, even though he was better than everybody else, even he had a little bit of a learning curve early on because the level of competition that he played at in collegiate golf and amateur golf was still lower than him. So you're still not, and he, So
I'd say
don't
the
know.
depth's definitely higher. And I mean, yeah, you look at somebody like Michael Brennan, who went, didn't even play Corn Ferry. He went directly from PGA Tour Americas to PGA Tour. So yeah, I think that it's deeper and deeper than ever. So it becomes harder to sustain. But I think, as long as Scottie is motivated and wants to be better all the time, it's not hard to say in fields that are 150 some odd players, but it's really up to him of how long he wants to stay at this level, stay focused, stay committed to being out there. It's more dependent on him and his desires more than what he's going to face, I think.
I think that's the gray area that we're looking at with Scheffler versus when Tiger came out. Tiger's goal was to beat Jack.
Right.
In his mind, he wanted to target out becoming the best golfer who has ever played the game, surpassing all records out there. Yeah. I don't think that Scheffler is in any way motivated by any of that.
No, and he said that himself.
Yeah, so he's not trying to chase Tiger. Whereas when you heard Koepka talk, when Koepka came out and started winning majors, he talked about how, how he would go about doing this. Like he, in his mind, sort of had this idea that I'm going to chase down these major records because that's where I can excel, is winning majors. Right. I'm not worried about the John Deere Classics, and I'm not worried about the Heritages. I'm worried about the, this is how I'll win majors. And that was sort of a motivation. And I don't really think that a lot of players coming out now have that same motivation about the majors. That the majors, maybe once you've won 6 or 7 of them, you might start thinking about it. But until you've won one, I don't think that there's even a motivational factor there. And Scottie doesn't have. I don't even think he's really that motivated to win the Grand Slam, which he's only one away from. But it's attainable. But I don't think his brain isn't processing it like, oh my God, the U.S. Open's coming up. I got to win.
Yeah, and I think obviously eras change, as far as money changes, and we have to say right now that he just passed Rory McIlroy for number 2 on the all-time money list, and he's only $1 million and a bit away from Tiger, which he's going to pass in the next little while. But again, it's inconsequential. It's not something he puts on his wall, because this is a guy who's guaranteed $23 million just from last week's win. And because he's going to be at the top of the season points list, after this week or this next event. So, money's not the motivation. He's got all he ever wants to spend. So the thing is that, he doesn't really express all the time kind of what his motivation is, but I can't see it being anything better than I want to play my best this week. That's kind of like how he is all the time.
And because of that, I don't see him playing for a long period of time. I almost don't really see him as a Champions Tour guy. He's not going to be a Champions Tour player. No, I just don't see it. I just see him like he's going to play, and then when he feels like he's no longer competitive, then he'll probably stop. And that'll be the end of it.
Yeah, he'll spend more time with his kids and family, fine. and that's perfectly fine.
I'd love to see that. Lorena Ochoa did it. Right. Yeah. How much more did she need to win? How much more money did she need? She did everything that she needed to do. Yeah. She's a Hall of Famer. Like there's she started a family. Motivation. Why come back and work on the foundations, work with kids, work around the do the Lorena Ochoa stuff. You don't need to grind it out playing golf. And Brooke will be the same. Brooke will be in the same light at some point or another too.
Yes, she is 100%.
She has nothing left to prove other than to herself. And I think once she, maybe she gets a couple more wins under her belt, maybe gets another major. I think she'll probably settle down at some point here too. The motivation, the money motivation is kind of lost once they've won enough money, and fine, pave the way for somebody else, clear the spot. Someone else is going to come up and have an opportunity to do their thing. That's how I look at it.
But you know what? In the meantime, we get to enjoy the ride.
Exactly. In the meantime, we get to talk about this guy named Scottie every week, and it's not a putter.
Or me.
Yeah, Scottie, you're Scottie Mac. You're not Scottie. You're Scottie Mac.
No,
I don't. I mean, some people call you Scottie. I don't call you Scottie. You're always Scottie Mac to me. So
there we go.
You'll always be a Scottie Mac. All right. Enough with the Scotties. We are moving on. Really glad that everybody tuned in this week. Great show. Lots of fun. Thanks to our sponsors, Metcalf Golf Club, Falcon Ridge Golf Club, and of course our presenting sponsor, Srixon Golf. Whether you're looking for a premium urethane option in the Z-Star series or a quality budget option in the soft field, maybe somewhere in between with the Q-Star Tour, Srixon is bound to present an option that will work for your game. Visit srixon.ca. We do hope that you're enjoying watching and hearing what we're bringing you every week. Be sure to follow us across all the social media networks, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. Subscribe on Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. And don't forget the YouTube channel. Like us, click the notification bell. Make sure you never miss a single episode. Get yourself over to flagstick.com for more amazing golf content delivered every single day. And subscribe to that newsletter, Flagstick Digest newsletter. It's free. It's delivered to your inbox 3 days a week. And always possesses some really good content for you, the golf enthusiast that you all are. As always, we do appreciate you tuning in. I am Jeff Botter.
I'm Scott McLeod.
Always remember, go for the stick.